Here's the checklist, the recipe you can use right now to scale up your chiropractic business, get more patients, and you can see what's happening with search and social and the website. Let's log in. Let's look at all the stats. Here it is. You know the $1 a day strategy in digital marketer and the other pieces that we've taught inside DM and other places. We can skin, and I'm thinking that maybe even we could do it as a chiropractor cookbook that we can teach for other chiropractors and verticalize the training we have for chiropractors, because we have lots and lots of examples of doing 1-minute videos and $1 a day for chiropractors, and be a co-teaching with the webinar, and then turn it into like a book that has your face on it and my face on it. So that would drive more traffic for your agency, and we would be seen more as the expert teacher. But
I know. I think there's some misunderstanding here. I've been writing to you and I thought you have probably understood differently. We are not the agency. I wanted to take your help for getting the clients for our doctors. I wrote to you in detail, but maybe somewhere there's disconnect. So we are not agency, okay? And I wanted to take your help to build a funnel using that structure of 1-minute video to create clients for doctors in our team, consultations for the doctors in our team.
I think we're saying the same thing, right? So we want to teach from example.
Okay, right.
For the doctors, we have to drive more patients for them. Doesn't matter whether in the US or other places, we have to demonstrate this is how we do it. And we've done it at scale. And then that's why we would want to turn it into some kind of chiropractor cookbook that we teach from that. Otherwise, it ends up looking like an infomercial. So it's two parts. One is to demonstrate how it's done so we can bring in more chiropractors. And two is to do it as a done-for-you implementation service on behalf of existing clients.
Okay. So
that's what you were saying in the email and here, right? Or no? Let me understand.
What's the end result that you think we should get? What's the end result? Who is the client, and what's the end result that we are looking at?
What you'd said in your note was that you wanted to do two things. You wanted to expand the number of chiropractors in the program, right? So if we do a webinar that's teaching, so if we do a webinar that's teaching, we can attract more chiropractors by showing what we have done with other chiropractors. But if we do it in the way that we mentioned,
perfect. That's great. Yeah.
If we do it in the way that we mentioned, then it doesn't come off as a sales presentation, because our goal is to deliver value first, to show them how, so that if they want to do it, they want to follow the checklist. We could even sell the whole thing as a course, right? Sells a course for, $97 or something like that, right? 50-50 rev share on that. We do that all day long, right?
Yes.
Then the second piece is as implementation for chiropractors to actually do the work to drive more patients in their city. We can offer that as a package, but we don't want to just allow people to buy the package. We want them to understand that what we do is what's in this particular course. It's this step, this is how we create the 1-minute videos, this is how we optimize the Google My Business. And the reason why we require that they see there's a course is that we don't want to get on these one-on-one phone calls and explain to them digital marketing, explain all this stuff. If they go ahead and buy the course, they can see exactly how to do it step by step, right? And anyone coming to us or anyone that we do implementation for, we want to have them coming to us where they see this is what we've done for all these other chiropractors. And they want us to do the same thing, and they're ready to sign up, and there's no need to try to ever sell them, right? If we do a good job in the training, never need to sell them, then our cost is just on implementation. Because with most agencies that are doing implementation services, their cost of sales is 40 to 50%, because they have a lot of people who churn. They have to explain digital marketing. There's a lot of selling going on. But if we do if we put out the training in the right way, then any done for you services will be just implementation and no coaching and no selling.
And how do we create clients for the doctors? For example, we have doctors in India. We have been doing a lot of video consultations for the clients in US. And I wanted to create more clients for them. How do we do that?
We literally follow the process that we're teaching. So getting more, you mean more patients, right? For the chiropractor.
More direct clients. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's what we teach. That's literally what the training is about. 1 minute video, $1 a day, Google My Business, call tracking, landing pages, all of these things, right?
So that would be kind of a part of it that would kind of integrate into it, and that would lead to, so there won't be something extra that will do. So things like that, $1 a day, what you said, Google My Business and things like that, that will all be optimized in a way.
So what we teach is what we do, and what we do is what we teach. So there's no distinction between the two. So when we do training and we share our example saying, look, this is a chiropractor. Her name is Veronica Cruz. We made these 1 minute videos. We put it on her Google My Business. We updated her website. We ran ads on Google. We posted this on Facebook and we boosted it. Here's what the report looks like. Here's how the VAs did the work step by step. Here's the checklist, the recipe you can use right now to scale up your chiropractic business, get more patients, and you can see what's happening with search and social and the website. Let's log in. Let's look at all the stats. Here it is, right? Here's you could see free webinar, right? This is how we do it. But there's also a course. If you want to go into much more detail, because you want to do it yourself, you have a team, go ahead and you can buy the course for, $297 or something like that, but $97 if you buy right now. So you can go through all the stuff, all the training step by step right here, just like this. So they can do it themselves, or they can say, wow, there's a lot of steps here. I would rather just be a chiropractor and have someone else drive me patients. Now I can sign up for this package, the package of $1,000 a month or $2,000 a month or whatever we price it at, right? But we can't have people sign up for the package unless they understand what they're getting, right? The worst thing that could happen is we get a bunch of people sign up for the package and then they say, oh, I signed up for the package because it sounded really good, but can we get on a call where Dr. Smita or Dennis, one-on-one, you can explain exactly what you're going to do. And I have a question about TikTok. What do you think? I have this question about, we don't want to turn to support or consulting or things like that, right?
So I think, Dennis, and this is what my understanding, I think we're kind of on a different page business-wise, because we sell herbal supplements and the idea is to get practitioners to use those supplements. So chiropractors to use those supplements. So what we want to do is kind of, get them trained into our way of holistic medicine in a way, and get them to use those products. So then, and this is how we want to increase our let's say revenue model. So that's one revenue model, direct to business. So that would be our B2B in a way. And then you have our B2C where we have, direct consumer that we, let's say, if Sean says, hey, I'm looking for alternative methods, and then Sean will come to our website, book an appointment. And so that's the second part of it. So So I think
B2B, either way, if you don't, chiropractors, their problem is they don't understand marketing. You could have the most amazing training, the most amazing herbal supplements, and if they don't know how to sell it, if they don't know how to get more patients, doesn't matter, right? So their core is they need help with the marketing. So that's where a joint venture could make sense. Now, if they understand that we teach them techniques on how to get more patients, and as part of the content that they create, because the chiropractors are moving from, cracking backs into holistic, right? Into nutrition, into, working with personal injury attorneys, into the mind, into the gut, into all these other things that are beyond just my spinal, nervous system, then that makes a lot of sense, because to be able to talk about those topics opens up new things, new ways for them to bring in patients, which then brings in your model. But the core of it all is a chiropractor is not going to want to sign up to a webinar just to learn about your products. They want to know that we can drive their business. So you have to meet them where they are, what they need.
So if I understand, so you were saying that rather than kind of, just marketing the product, we should be, hey, we are here to support you to build up your practice kind of idea, and that they feel more kind of that we're part of their business. We're there to support them. That's, if I understand that correctly, that's what you're referring to.
It just depends on what your philosophy is in sales. Our philosophy is provide value first on what they want. And if they understand that we're helping them, then they're going to be interested in what we want.
Completely making sense, actually, because if you tell them, so that's a very, 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 it looks like it will work, but we need to explore more. But that's for the chiropractor. But what about current doctors who are already connected with us? How do we create clients for them?
Well, there's selling herbal supplements and selling other items is one component of their business. So anytime you have a B2B relationship,
B2C.
Oh, you want to sell direct to consumer? That's typical e-com, right?
Yeah, I'm talking about consumer directly now, business to the consumer.
Yeah.
So because we have already n number of practitioners in India and also some in America, but so we need to drive clients to them. So and normally they clients pay $20 consultation fees, and then our practitioners will talk to them and convert them into buying the herbs. And we have been doing that already, marketing in India.
Yeah.
And we use Google and we use Facebook marketing. But I liked the way in which you were, describing this 1-minute video. So I thought if we can do, because we have lots of testimonials, everything, and we can create that for current practitioners to get the consultations. So that's business to direct consumer.
Right.
What do you propose there?
Well, that's us being an agency, because then we have to integrate with the marketing automation there to be able to drive those consultations. And then optimize what you're already doing. So you're already spending a good amount on Facebook ads. I imagine that if we come in and optimize, we could find some other increases there. Because it's e-commerce and it's not driving leads in a local area, but it's basically e-com, but it's through your business partners, we should consider a rev share, right? So that rev share would be, we would behave in an agency-like way for the first 90 days. So that's $20,000 as our fee to optimize for the first 90 days. And then after that, we do a rev share where it might be, say, 2% of revenue. But we need to make sure you have the elements that we need so that we know that we can be successful.
Okay, right.
So that is different than the webinars and the teaching and the B2B stuff that we talked about, because B2C, especially in e-com, is a very different, more competitive market.
Right. So let's talk about the B2B first. How would that work actually?
B2B is just training. So that doesn't require any outlay of cash. It's not an agency thing. It's co-marketing and training together.
Okay, right.
But if the goal is to sell supplements, then what we want to do is things like have the access checklist for each of these folks so we can get their audiences. We can put the pixels on the website. We can post as their public figure page, like you see we teach on Facebook, and thus be able to use the doctor's assets, their underlying profiles, to drive these consultations. I imagine you have a funnel, you have a nurture system with email to drive these consultations, you have call tracking. I imagine you have some of that in place, and then they do the call, and then that leads to the recommendation of buying supplements.
So if I understand correctly, so we'll kind of sponsor their social media marketing, which is kind of in a way that will give us the data that we could use for our own purposes.
Yep. If it requires coming through their consultation. Yeah. I'm 3 minutes late. I have a team of people that are waiting for me. I would love to continue this conversation, or maybe continue with Sean. And it could be like Seeds of Life, or it could be like some of the other clients we have, where we do teaching and we do rev share on an e-commerce level.
Sure.
Maybe you can just send us the proposal in writing, and we can maybe set up, we can communicate again, or what do you say?
I think we should do a webinar together. That would be a good start, because that's creating value. We always want to create value first.
I think it makes sense. We can try that out.
Yeah.
Go ahead. No, I was thinking, I think important would be just to kind of get more clarity, technicalities out of the way. So then, we know what the next steps of webinar could be the first step. But before that, there's still kind of, more clarity that we have to get about the final steps and how it's going to look like, just to have a clearer picture. Okay. So maybe an idea could be either we can plan something again, maybe, whenever the time possibilities allow, or we can just have a quick call or discussion with Sean, continue with it, just to get a better understanding.
Yeah. Yeah. Why don't you guys continue for a few minutes? I have a bunch of people that are waiting for me. Right now.
Sure.
Yeah. Okay. And I'll catch up with you after. All right.
Yes.
Okay. See you guys.
Very good. Great. Thank you. Bye. Yeah. So can you clarify again a little bit more, so we know we are in the same page?
Yeah, I'll do the best I can. Dennis is obviously the expert here, so I'll do what I can. So the B2B part is really about the Facebook Dollar Day 1-minute video and the whole training system. So it's about creating a webinar with obviously people are enrolled in you, they're enrolled in your business. So with you creating a training with Dennis, that's something that can be put into a course and sold to them, which is going to teach them how to do everything. It teaches them how to do all the marketing, all the 1-minute videos, how to do all the digital plumbing. It's a whole course. And we would take a document we already have and we'd put your face on it with Dennis and make it and skin it so that it's in your company colors, has your logo. So you would work with Dennis to make this course, which would just be a webinar. That would the webinar would be sold with the documentation so that they can go step by step and do everything themselves. So that's one part of it. Is that part clear?
Yeah. And who will? So how will we promote the webinar? How will we get traffic or people to attend the webinar?
That would be using your list and actually using the exact same principles we'll be teaching.
So we don't have the list. No. So there is a mistake then. There is a mistake. We don't have the list really. No. We don't have
you don't have chiropractor clients already.
No.
Yeah. So, I mean, our idea is to, let's say, bring ourselves in front of the chiropractor saying, hey, this is what Ayush Shakti provides and could be interested for your clients. Because see, based on the research, I don't have the exact numbers, but I know that, almost 75% of the chiropractors use supplements, vitamins, things like that in their chiropractic business. And then I think about 25 to 30% do more herbal supplements. And the idea is for them to use Ayush Shakti as a herbal supplements option where we will provide them with the training, we will provide them with all the, the tools and the support system for them to use the products. So for us, that's a business model that we train the practitioner into our products, and then they use that as one of the products. Let's say you walk in, you say, hey, you have, let's say, pain in your joints and things like that. It has been cracked. You had a cracked back, they cracked the back, but you still kind of want to take something more for the long-term benefits. And that's where our products will come into picture.
Is this a new niche for you guys that you're trying to break into? I
mean, we already have some chiropractors that are working with us in the US, and then we want to kind of expand into that because chiropractors is something, so you have holistic medicine practitioners, but then you also have chiropractors. Is a bigger market that we there are, I think, almost 20,000 chiropractors in whole US. So that is kind of a bigger market for us. And that's what we want to target.
Okay. All right. Yeah, I definitely think there may have been a misunderstanding up front. So what it sounds like to me is that you guys need to be applying the 1-minute video process.
Basically, the reason I contacted you guys mainly was actually we wanted to build a funnel based on 1-minute video system that he described in the DM marketing somewhere a year ago, right? Mm-hmm. So and what I wrote to him was that that was from the business to the customer. And I didn't want to work like a fixed amount of the agency. What I asked him if it was possible to do ROAS sharing from ROAS ongoing. So we can have a small fixed amount around 2,500. I did write to him that also on the messenger, and he said we can look at it. And then we can share up to 40% on ROAS.
Clarify for me, when you said the 2,500, what was that for?
The fixed amount to create the funnel, and then ongoing sharing 40% on ROAS.
So 2,500 would be a fixed amount. So let's say a fixed pay to to Dennis, let's say, and then there will be additional variable benefit for once the client comes in, then whatever our income would be. So let's say from the first tripwire, and then whatever the expense minus that, and out of that 40% of the profit will be shared. Mm-hmm. So then you have a fixed amount, and then you have a variable.
Sure. There's a lot more that's involved with just the funnel. So the program that we have has all of the digital plumbing that goes into place, because you can't track anything if you don't have your digital assets connected, and if you don't have the pixels in place in Google and Facebook and perhaps other online platforms.
Smita can tell us what is already in place.
Yeah, so basically in India, we a lot of depend on our search ads. We do our conversion ads on Facebook. We do our lead generation ads. We do our Facebook post boosting, video sharing, YouTube video sharing, and everything is done. For USA, we are not
pixel setup or not. That is what you can, and CRM, all of those technical things.
Yeah, that is everything set up. So we connect through our CRM through Zapier, and then the flow goes on. We have a call center team, in-house call center, who calls each and every lead and makes the confirmation and gives them the timings and slots are being allotted by them.
Okay. I have to say, I didn't understand everything you said. It was just a little bit quiet. In general, people seem to, I'll say different definitions of what digital plumbing is. So it's going to be really important that we make sure that we're going to have to assess all the digital plumbing anyway, to make sure that all the connections are made, because we can't track anything if it's not done to the standards that we always teach and we use ourselves. So it's something that we would do. The 2,500, I think that is, I'm going to have to look back specifically at the package, but I believe that's half of what it actually takes to get the system in place. And what I'll do, I'll take the action to provide you with the actual quote after this call. The second part of it, which is the ongoing revenue sharing, that is something that we do, and that's something that we can support you with. I think it's better at some point that we get back on the phone with Dennis to go into more details. But what you're asking for is what we often do with our clients. We get this entire system in place. We continue. At the end of the day, you need to be providing us with the content. You have to make the 1-minute videos, write blogs, co-blog on other websites. You have to do that work, but we will do the posting and the cross posting. We'll make sure that everything's actually working and that the word is getting out in the way that it should, or can at least.
So you think that we can have a initial $20 consult, we can get it booked at the cost around $10 CTC, the cost to conversion, customer acquisition cost at $10?
Oh, I won't be able to give you that level of detail. That would be a better question for our more technical folks.
Okay. What do you suggest next step?
Well, let me summarize for you what I'm understanding you want, and then I can speak with Dennis and our team, and we can provide you, as you requested a quote, I can provide those to you in an email.
We definitely are interested in getting more chiropractor on board for us, but we don't have the list actually. So that's one thing you have to maybe discuss with Dennis, and then maybe he has something in mind about that. I like the idea of creating value and giving something upfront so that then, they can slowly get interested in coming together. So that's one. And the second is business to customer, which is building a funnel to create clients for already doctors who are our partners for them. And we would like to have your either guidance, or you can build it up along with our team. And what we are looking in that is to have a very minimum fixed cost, and we are happy to share variable up to 40% on ROAS.
Okay. I have to ask Dennis about that. This is not a traditional payment that we use. Like he told you, we normally charge $20,000 up front to get everything in place, and then a lower percentage on the back end. But you're wanting to do the opposite, which is possible, but I prefer to consult with him before I make a commitment like that.
Yeah, please.
Regarding your first comments about wanting to connect with more chiropractors, is really, that is a service of, you need to be applying the Facebook $1 a day and the 1-minute video, because what you want to be doing is using these networks to reach out to chiropractors on those platforms. So fortunately, you're able to, on Facebook, you're able to really segment down to certain people. So if we can get really focused on the people that you're looking for, then really your focus is on making 1-minute videos and using the Facebook $1 a day system to continue to reach those people. Because what you want, it seems like, is to be building your clientele list so that the chiropractors, they get to know you, they get to know your products, they start using your products themselves, and then for your clients, which that's where the webinar comes in, because not only do you have, your list
So
of
we
people
are
coming
happy
in, but
to do that. I just wanted to inform you that we don't have the chiropractors list. If that was your understanding, then I just wanted to clarify. That's it.
I understand that you don't have the list, but what it seems like is you need to generate a list. You need to create your list.
Yes.
Right. So you need to be
Yes.
applying the 1 minute video on the Facebook dollar a day. That's what I'm saying is you need to start generating your content and apply our systems so that you can use your team here and you guys can create that list of chiropractors, because it seems like that's the other part of this equation. We do have a done for you service, which we can definitely talk about if that's something that your team is interested in, where we would take your content and basically run it through all the systems that you can get. That big document Dennis showed you, that's the system that we use. So we would take your content and apply it to Facebook and Google, and by doing that, we would be able to drive more leads to you, so that you can build your list of chiropractors, because that's really what you need to start scaling up, is to get the word out that your product exists. It's meant for chiropractors and perhaps other practitioners. But it seems like one of your first steps is to start doing this yourself. And then, so that's one part of it. And then there's the B2C part of it, which is more complicated, which I can't personally speak to the B2C. This is more of Dennis's expertise. But this is something that we do. We do have other clients that I actively work with where we do B2C. So let me talk to Dennis about what it is you're looking for, which I get that you need to build your list, which is the Facebook dollar a day and the 1 minute video. And then the B2C aspect of it, I think it'll be helpful for him to understand that.
We don't have the list, but if he thinks that we by creating this course together for the chiropractor, and we will be able to put the word out and build a list of chiropractors and maybe sell the course at the same time, then it could be okay. I'm happy to do this like a joint project. So that's what you can. And the second thing is B2C, where we have already set of doctors and we would like to generate clients for them. You create this 1 minute system for them. And I'm looking for not to spend huge fixed amount upfront, but I'm happy to share up to 30 to 40% on ROAS.
Okay. So when you said B2C before, so I was understanding that you wanted to sell to consumers directly.
Yes, that is what I said. Yeah. B2C.
And when you say consumers, are the consumers the doctors and chiropractors, or the consumers
the end consumers? Chiropractors, I would say B2B, which means selling to their business, to the chiropractors. So that's the first thing. But B2C is ultimate clients. We have doctors who are our clinic partners, and we want to create clients for them using the system of 1 minute video system. And that will be in normal agency. So what I wanted to check, if you can create this, because anyways we are going to give you the videos, and we will be creating the material and everything. So if you can build this funnel in 2,500 fixed cost, and we will be sharing, instead of 2% on the revenue, which should be like a minimum 2% on the spend, I guess, which will be just a minimum. Instead of that, I will be happy to share 40% up to 40% on the ROAS. You understand what is ROAS, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay.
So our consultation we charge is $20, and we can also go up to $30 to charge if that's what can bring us the good amount of ROAS, and then we will share 40% ongoing on that ROAS, and our target is
what's the consultation that you referenced?
Right, that is what I'm happy you asked that question. So the consultation is actually a consultation of ancient healing, natural healing, of Indian system of healing, And we are already doing around how many 100 video consultations a month, I think, or more, a little bit.
Yeah,
and,
around, let's say.
But that's coming from the alliance sources. And what we want to do is we want to generate clients from our own campaigns. And the target is to reach 1,000 clients a month by April 2022.
1,000 clients a month by when?
April 2022.
April.
So in about 9 months, 8 months.
9 months, yeah, in 9 months. And we are specialized in treating chronic health conditions, and we have hundreds and thousands of testimonials. We have a lot of endorsements there. So we have a lot of material which is fitting in that 1 minute video system kind of thing, And we have a team who can also create the content really as per your guidance. And we have a Zapier, we have a CRM in place, we have a pixels settled on the website. We have also Facebook pixel. And if you want, we have a social media agency who does that here for us. So my point was that we can take advantage of all the cost benefit from India, and you could be just directing us on how to do it. So
what is your agency there? What are they doing? What is your agency in India doing?
So we have a social media agency who has set the team of people who set the pixel, Facebook pixel and Google pixel website. On the website we capture them. We do retargeting campaigns as well. We do we spend around $30,000 a month on advertising and marketing just to generate clients directly for the our practitioners. Okay, we already are doing that, and I'm looking at making it efficient and cost effective.
Have you considered asking your current agency if they've tried the Facebook dollar a day and the 1 minute video that Dennis teaches? Is this something that they do?
We tried it actually, and we did try it, and there was a little kind of a better result, I would say. Each time we tried, our cost of customer acquisition definitely went down. But I think it's very difficult to listen to the lecture and implement, and all is very complicated. So I would be happy if you all can directly build it for us and using and we are ready to share the ROAS on a huge amount. And I don't know how much would the customer acquisition cost when you follow the dollar a day system. Will it be what, $10, $15 or more? What's your estimation?
Well, like I said before, I don't comment on those types of numbers. It's either Dennis and we have a few other people that are really in touch with those numbers. So I think I understand what it is that you want to accomplish. Let me take this and get back to Dennis and our other team members. And what I'll do is I'll send you an email.
I have one request to you, because we've been going back and forth, and I think Dennis is very busy. My request is whatever we discuss, just send us first over mail. Okay, so that we are clear what we discussed. And if we have some different understanding, I'll get back to you again. Before you share with your team, let's be aligned that we are on the same page.
Okay. All right. I understand.
Okay with that?
Sure.
Yeah?
Yeah, sure. It's also a bit late here. I'm in Europe. I know you're in India, so it's even later for you. So I can get back to you.
Where are you?
Right now I'm in Italy. I'm from California, but I'm in Italy now.
Oh, you are in Italy. Okay. Nice. We have a huge operation in Italy. There are a couple of medical doctors who work with us.
Wonderful. Well, I hope we can find a way to reach improve your reach and make a bigger impact.
Yeah. So we spoke about two things. Number one, for the chiropractor, I love the idea of doing the webinar jointly. Only thing is that we don't have the list. You thought that we have the list, but we don't have the list. So that should be clear.
The webinar doesn't make sense if there isn't a list. So for now, what would make sense is to build the list by applying the 1 minute, by applying the system. So what that's going to entail essentially is what I'll end up proposing most likely is that you join our content engine, which we get everything set up for you. We can run the entire we run the entire funnel for you, which is $1,000 a month. And that would essentially get your system in place for 3 months at $3,000. We would run the funnel itself for 3 months. And if at that point you wanted to have your team continue with it, you could. But I think that's going to be your most effective way to start building your list of chiropractors.
So our priority is not building the list of chiropractors. Our priority is to create clients for current doctors that we have already working with us. That's the first priority. And you said that there is a system in place which costs like $1,000 a month, and then we do it for 3 months, and then we can have that system running by ourselves. That is what you wanted to suggest?
So what I'm saying is that if you want to build your list, if you want to start driving clients, and this isn't B2C, this is really, it's not B2C in the sense of selling items. We have what's called the content engine, which is a simplified version of our primary system. And what this system will do is get all the digital plumbing in place and Google My Business, and also set up the campaigns. Basically, the funnels you're speaking of, it'll set up some of the funnels so that you can start to generate the leads or whatever it is your priority is at that point. So if you really want to reach people for chiropractors to get the leads, to drive the emails, that would be the goal of the campaign. Is $1,000 a month for the content engine. So with $2,500, you do it for 2 months, or if you want to pay $3,000, you do it for 3 months, where we would basically run the system for you to drive leads to your webpage. Obviously, that like I said before, you'd be generating the content for the 1-minute videos and the blogs and such. But it seems like, as you said, number one priority is the B2C, is my understanding. I think there might be 3 things that's happening. Let me just clarify, because I think this might be a point of confusion for me. You guys can clarify. So there's you wanting to grow your list so that you can reach more chiropractors directly. You also want to be able to sell your supplements directly to consumers.
So forget about supplement right now. Just forget about that. What is the third thing you understood?
Well, the third thing is you're saying you want to drive more clients, more customers to the doctors that you already know.
Exactly. So that's what we want to do.
Okay. And this is what I think I'm still a little confused. So you already have a list of doctors. If you're trying to get more clients for your doctors.
Sorry, Sean. So basically, let's say the doctor. So in Ayush Shakti in India, we have about 20 clinics. So let's say in India, we have already our team of 20 doctors that do consultations. And what we want to do is kind of get people in the US, people around the world that are interested in holistic medicine to book an online consultation, which they can have it with our, team of doctors that are currently in India working in our centers. That's the idea behind it, let's say. So basically, there is no new list of doctors. It's basically the doctors that are kind of working with us, let's say, on our payroll. And we want to kind of expand the business in a way that they get more clients. That means more revenue for the company. So if they see more clients, that means, the people will buy more supplements that these doctors will recommend. So it's kind of, more clients lead to more sales of the supplements. More sales of the supplements means, more revenues overall for the company.
What I'm hearing is that you have 20 doctors that are already utilizing your supplements, and you want to connect with more people out there.
Exactly.
In the world,
exactly.
And bring them to these 20 doctors.
Exactly.
It sounds to me like you need to be using the content engine to generate these leads. This to me sounds like what you're really driving toward.
Exactly.
In reality, what you are is almost an agency, because in reality, each of these doctors should be doing their own advertising. But if you want to be doing...
No, actually, they work for us.
They work for us, so that they're on our payroll. They're on our payroll. So they kind of, let's say if you're in a hospital, for example, let's say we're in a hospital and we want to generate more business, and these, different doctors are working in that hospital. So idea is to get more patients into the hospital, for example. That's the idea behind it.
Okay.
Yeah.
I understand understand. What it sounds like to me is that we're really looking at well, I'm going to let Dennis make the final decision on it, but what it really sounds like is that we need to be using this content engine, or maybe even the social amplification engine, for your business, so that you're generating more interest, more leads that we can bring into these doctors. And I think that's really what we should be focusing on right now. Sounds like that's the number one priority. And if all these doctors are working for you, then it makes, well, if they're involved with you and working for you in a way, then it makes sense that we start trying to use the name, your brand name, to generate this traffic. So for me, things are much clearer now. Thank you for explaining that. I think I can, in a much more easy way, explain this to Dennis and my team. But let me write it up.
Sure.
Just to make sure that we're really clear that the one thing we'll be focusing on is generating new leads for your doctors.
Mm-hmm.
I have a feeling it's going to be much simpler. I don't think a webinar is going to be required for this. I think the purpose of the webinar, it actually serves a different purpose. If you already had a big list of people, this would be a way to generate a lot of revenue by basically using your name brand and your reputation to sell courses. And let's say you, instead of having 20 doctors work for you, you had, I guess the situation would need to be a little bit different. The fact that they're working for you makes things a little different. But let's say you had access to another 1,000 doctors that you wanted to bring them in and start working with you. We could perhaps do a webinar for that, which could definitely, but in any case, we're not there. We're trying to drive leads.
No. We are not there, and we don't talk about it right now. Yes.
We'll just focus on leads for doctors. I think that really simplifies things. So I'll chat with Dennis. Well, I'll write everything down in email, like agreed.
So you need to just think we are a clinic where there are lots of doctors working, like a Mayo Clinic or some other clinic. And we want to just create customer for this clinic.
Got it. It's nice and simple.
Not for these clinics. We want to create and we do the ancient consultation, ancient healing, natural healing. So, and we would like to create clients for this natural healing for the clinic. That's it. Client for the virtual clinic. That's what you need to think.
Okay. I understand now. Is there anything else you'd like me to know about this? Or
no, and we don't want to spend $20,000 upfront. Like we don't want to do that. We are looking for some way by which we spend $2,500, maximum $3,000 upfront, and we are willing to share the ROAS in a good manner with you. So there will be a huge ongoing, because we already spend such a huge amount, as you know, in marketing, and our goal is 1,000 clients a month. So even if you are earning $3 to $4 ROAS per customer, it's already $3,000 to $4,000 a month till we keep using that funnel. So that's the possibility, right?
Understood. I'll talk to Dennis about this and get his feedback on it.
So let's focus only on one thing, which is creating clients for our clinic. That's it.
I got you. I understood. I understand your goal. Let me make sure Dennis understands that goal, and then we'll get back to you on what the best.
Because we don't want to get very confused by a lot of things doing at a time. We just want to focus on one thing. And that's creating client for our clinic. That's it.
Understood. Okay, great. I follow.
Okay.
I follow. Thank you all for your time.
Thank you.
I'll be sure to report back to Dennis and let him know what we talked about now that we're nice and clear. And we'll get back to you as soon as we can.
Yes, please. Thank you.
All right. Have a wonderful
Have a good evening.